Well, the human experience is quite something, isn't it?
Are we ready to make a difference? Do we venture into the unknown, or do we stay in our comfort zones and keep on taking the easy ride? Because at sea, it's ships that are safest at shore. But no, that's not what ships were made for. So ask yourself this: why are you really here?
Been through my own share of rough waters at sea. I love that sentiment. I love how he expresses it. Well, my perspective of reality has been through major shifts. Being super honest with oneself, committed to that in terms of how one sees humankind and present human reality. It can be quite eye-opening. And all the emotions. The truth of present human reality is pretty stark, pretty deep. There's a lot there. There's a lot there to try to just be with it and stay sane. And in fact, the sanity of mainstream thought and perspective makes it so that those who are starting to see a lot more of the depth of human reality can seem insane to all the others. I love this. These words from Aldous Huxley.
The aim of Western psychiatry is to help the troubled individual to adjust himself to the society of less troubled individuals, individuals who are observed to be well adjusted to one another and the local institutions. Counseling, analysis, and other methods of therapy are used to bring these troubled and maladjusted persons back to a normality, which is defined, for lack of any better criterion, in statistical terms. But there is another kind of normality, a normality of perfect functioning, a normality of actualized potentialities, a normality of nature in fullest flower. This normality has nothing to do with the observed behavior of the greatest number, for the greatest number live and have always lived with their potentialities unrealized, their nature denied its full development. Insofar as he is a psychotherapist, the Oriental philosopher tries to help statistically normal individuals to become normal in the other, more fundamental sense of the word. He begins by pointing out to those who think themselves sane that, in fact, they are mad, but that they do not have to remain so if they don't want to. Even a man who is perfectly adjusted to a deranged society can prepare himself, if he so desires, to become adjusted to the nature of things, as it manifests itself in the universe at large and in his own mind-body. A process of intellectual and psychophysical adjustment to the nature of things is necessary, but it cannot of itself result in a normalization, in the non-statistical sense, of the deranged individual. It will, however, prepare the way for that revolutionary event.
Before my dad passed away, I don't know, some number of years before that, he started to, I started hearing him say, come to see all that matters here is love. And a lot of people are echoing that and have been for a long time, but a lot more now. I'm sure it's the trials, it's the challenges, it's threats to our survival, it's getting crushed and knocked down and trampled on, and that get you to really think about what's important. In my own evolving, finally came to really love the human experience. Not every single aspect, but overall, and so much of it. And in a way, even the stuff that I would say I don't look forward to, I still love. I've come to see the human experience in such a way that I want more of it. And to me, there's different reasons for that, or different paths for how I came to that point.
But I had learned that knowing what something is not the same as knowing how something feels.
You could be the very best, the last one at the top of the mountain, gasping for air, having survived, and be alone. Be curious.
I got lost. The good kind of lost. I saw sights and sounds I had no words to describe. Faces with flesh of all different colors. I felt so alive. This was forbidden? I didn't know what to think, what to believe. Have faith, the giver told me. He said faith, that was seeing beyond. He compared it to the wind, something felt but not seen.
Don't accept what is the truth just because it's coming from someone you respect.
I feel completely stupid. That weird feeling that tingles in your hands.
Memories are not just about the past. They determine our future. You can change things. You can make things better.
It was life. It just seemed more complete. The more I experienced, the more I wanted.
Once, there were other living things. But unlike us, they knew who their mothers and fathers were. They had joy, and they had pain.
I have so much gratitude for what life has done to me, how it has sculpted me. And this stuff is the expanded awareness is so hard to put into words, at least for me. But it really, the gratitude, to me, gratitude, the deep gratitude, I don't know how it doesn't then lead to a want for more. And in a way that's appreciative and sees how amazing it is. Well, we're in really interesting times. It's, as I've informed myself as to the realities of present humankind, there are so many avenues here where, well, that are not sustainable. And without significant changes in a lot of areas. Well, it's, I don't see how humankind is going to survive.
No matter how challenging the times are that we find ourselves in, if we consider the level of purpose that we can find in facing these challenges head on, not hiding from them, but facing them head on. And that is, in fact, the only place solace lies in the kinds of scenarios we find ourselves in now. And if people would abandon the sort of false, unhelpful, and in many ways destructive programming that has been a core part of our society, that life is about your personal pursuit of pleasure, and if anything interferes with that, you should be miserable. That's not what life was about. And if people re-examine their sense of responsibility toward the greater good, because what we face is indeed existential threats. That's what people need to understand. These are absolutely near-term existential threats. But if we consider the part we could play in turning the tide of the Titanic on which we're all currently passengers,
Right.
Great solace, great sense of purpose exists in that.
I really like how Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Lynn McTaggart, those are some people that I really look up to. I really like how they talk about this, where they just speak of it in big terms, or in the big picture terms, and without getting bogged down emotionally in it. And you can tell when you listen to them, they have tremendous optimism, and as do I. And we have the choice. We can either resign to our death, or we can do everything we need to do to hold on to hope, to keep regenerating hope. It keeps getting whittled away, and do the things that keep regenerating it. And for me, one of the things that's most important there is a meaningful connection. In fact, it's everything to me.
More and more these days, I feel like we're all connected. And it's beautiful and funny and good.